For 75 years, the County Veteran Service Officers of the state of Minnesota have proudly served our state's veterans. Each of the 9 regions in Minnesota has a team of trained County Veteran Service Officers.
My name is Ashley Legonier, and I am a veteran of the Minnesota Army National Guard, and I'm a County Veteran Service Officer in Olmsted County.
Air Force retiree. I started out with an ROTC scholarship at South Dakota State University, and I went into the service from there.
I'm a tribal member of Fond du Lac, Lake Superior, Chippewa, the Fond du Lac BAM out of Cloquet, Minnesota.
I was an Army medic. I served active duty for 4 years. I was stationed down at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and I served in Baghdad, Iraq, for a duration of a 15-month deployment.
I was wounded severely in an improvised explosive device attack on December 2nd of 2006. I lost 2 of my closest friends. I lost both of my legs as well. I had a long recovery at Walter Reed Army Medical Center. Came back and learned firsthand how important getting connected with VA benefits and access to VA health care is, and it's made an impact on my life. So I felt compelled to help others also have that same access I was blessed with.
It's the best position, I can't even call it a job, that I've ever had, to be able to help people, and the satisfaction that you know that veterans are being taken care of, and I'm doing that.
I worked in administration, and also I worked with medical readiness at the end of my last 7 years of my career. And with that, I worked very closely with the County Veteran Service Officer, and it made me realize that I want to help people.
They're a group of people that without them, we just wouldn't be able to be successful. I mean, it's just the truth of the matter. Without them, they're just one of the most important pieces of VA.
The most rewarding part of the job so far is finding those different compensations for benefits from their time in service that they've earned.
And it's maybe a little difficult, especially in wintertime, for seniors or disabled veterans to get out of the home. I make a lot of house calls, and I really enjoy that.
The County Veteran Service Officers, without them, it would just be such a loss. They are able to get so many veterans the benefits that they deserve, and every day we have so many applications that come in from our County Veteran Service Officers. They're able to be in those communities and make those connections with the veterans.
You build up such a rapport with your veterans that I don't consider them veterans, I consider them my veterans.
Every day that I leave the office to go home, I know that I made a difference.
Your local County Veteran Service Officer is the first point of contact.
It was really brutal and sudden when we started Vietnam. You're kind of just thrown out there.
I got a lot of shrapnel, and but I didn't have any bones broken. So when we got back and they patched us up, and you don't have any bones broken, we need you.
It was easy in Iraq, you just don't die, and you had a good day. When you get home, you have family and everything else to take care of, and it's a totally different experience.
People don't know until they go to the Veteran Service Officers and the offices of those folks, where they can fill you in on what is duly and rightfully yours through the VA and for your service.
A lot of women veterans don't consider themselves veterans first. Those same benefits that male veterans access are available to you. You earn them and you deserve them. And so put yourself further up on the list and come on in and see what we have available.
I do wish that I had gone in sooner and made a connection with the County Service Veterans Officers because they are so knowledgeable, and they can just tell you, what you might be available for, things you never thought about.
The giant book of benefits that are available to veterans in the United States of America is available to all veterans, because it's not about your particular circumstances in your military service. It's the very fact that you stood tall and defended your country, big or small.
The Tribal Council supports our Veteran Service Officer 100%.
It's roughly 14% of the Native American population serves. Fond du Lac yearly has a powwow for veterans to acknowledge the service, not only of the band members, but of any veteran that would like to come.
I'm proud to be a member of the Fond du Lac tribe, and I'm proud to be a veteran. We tend to do a lot more than just fill out paperwork at our office for the veteran. And the veterans really appreciate that and keep coming back.
A lot of the veterans don't know what is available to them. And the programs the CVSOs are able to bring to veterans, it's breathtaking. And I've never knew how these programs work before, but watching and seeing how they work, it's just amazing to see the changes that the CVSOs can bring to people's lives.
I know what it's like to have served, even though a lot of the veterans we see aren't retirees like me. They may have only served 2 years, but some of the things that they went through, and especially during times of combat or war, just horrific sometimes, some of the things they've been through. Some of the historical things that we hear about, you know, I have veterans who were there.
So many times people come into our office and they say, well, I just retired from my career and I'm 65 years old, now what do I qualify for? The answer is the same exact thing you qualified for when you were 25. There are so many benefits out there for working adults, for their families, whether you're in poverty or you're doing really well in your job. There's so much to take advantage of, and we want to help with that.
You gave time out of your life. You know, it doesn't matter if you served 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, 8 years, you still took time and did something that a huge percentage of people never did or never cared to do, but you took that time to go serve our country and had the possibility of losing your life or, you know, having something seriously happen to you.
I have veterans that walk in my office almost weekly, maybe even daily, and say I applied for VA healthcare 20 years ago and got denied, so I'm not eligible. Well, it's not true. Things have changed. Their life has changed. Their income has changed. There's benefits.
Veterans, register your DD-214 with your local county veteran service officer.
First of all, I had to bring in my DD-214, you know, and that's got the whole history of your military life, you know.
It's super important that if veterans haven't done it, they need to bring their 214s in. It just says DD-214 right in the bottom left corner.
And bring their story. That's the main thing. I can help them from there. We may ask for more information, medical records, service records, etc., but the main thing is getting them in the office. That's the important thing.
I think when you go to speak to a veteran service officer and you know he or she is a veteran, you can connect with them real quick, and then there's a lot of things that a lot of these veterans are coming in to say that they don't want to tell anyone, but they'll tell us. They trust us.
It was like talking to a friend almost. You went in, they helped you, you're there, you're enjoying your time.
If you were in Vietnam from, say, 67, 68, 69, 70, you were probably exposed to Agent Orange. You better go talk to the VSO and find out, because they can tell you if you're probably going to qualify or not, but you need the VA to take care of you.
These are things that we've earned, not things that are just being given to us. You went through all of the trials and tribulations. This is what the country has promised you for your service.
I love working with widows. So if someone has passed away and we're working with a loved one who's lost their veteran, and being able to help them through that process and in a way cheer them up and also help them, guide them through the complicated mess of trying to find their benefits that they're entitled to, makes a difference.
They're there 100% for the service member and for the spouse. And once, say your spouse does pass away, he talks to me, he knows who I am. I see him at the Legion for different functions. He always talks to me, always, like another family member.
Every veteran really deserves any benefit that we can qualify them for.
If you haven't met your veteran service officer, every county in the state of Minnesota has one. Go see them, talk to them, and they can fill you in on what your opportunities or what your rights are as far as being a veteran in the state of Minnesota.
I encourage all veterans to stop into the County Veteran Service Office just to see what benefits are available for them.
They're up to date on what's available for veterans, and every situation is probably different, but if they can't find out what they can help you with, they will find out what it is. So they're your best friend.
For 75 years, the County Veteran Service officers of the state of Minnesota have proudly served our state's veterans. Visit macvso.org to find a service officer near you.